and we'll just literally film that just in that path there. Again, just run in, speak to Jim, what's going on, boom, run off.
Yeah.
Then that's when we run to, so at that point, you've just heard Neil screaming.
Yeah.
Josh has found out that...
Down the bottom of the tree trunk.
That's right, yep. Josh has found out that it's all fake. And then you staged all, then we've heard the monsters. Now you're being chased by the monsters. Then you run to the lemon tree, which is dubbing as the stag's head.
Love the land, my grandfather used to say. Love the land and what comes from it.
The idea for Yird Swine came about 3 or 4 years ago when I just moved to Aberdeen. We were going ahead with continuing season 4 of the Pandora Men, our online sci-fi adventure show, and I was researching potential plots. I discovered this amazing book written by the Reverend Dr. Walter Gregor, a founding member of the Folklore Society, who combined his life as a parish minister with that of a prolific scholar and archivist of folklore across the country. One story caught my eye, about this man, a shoemaker, who is walking past a graveyard when he hears scratching coming from beneath the ground, before seeing what he describes as an earth hog running in front of him. While on a works night out in a pub in the city centre, I got speaking to someone who was studying sound design at college and was interested in doing a project. Instantly, the story of the Yird Swine came to mind, and we quickly went into pre-production.
Hey! It's a yard!
The script went through various drafts. Most notably, the original concept featured a graveyard situated at the top of a cliff face, Crannog Bay, which was slowly eroding, and coffins were now falling from the cliff into the water. The opening shot, in fact, was going to be looking at the sea level before a coffin falls into view. This obviously concerned the locals and the community, but worryingly enough, they just not only were the coffins falling, but they were also discovering that they were in fact empty. This draft heavily leaned on a current issue remote communities are facing about the lack of space and for burial sites, and in fact one of the main characters was a gravedigger. The story was very complicated and spent little time with monsters and more time in the local community, so I decided to scrap that and make it more streamlined.
16-pointer, the monarch they call him. Beautiful beast.
Okay, that was ace.
The name of the village, Tarnahay, was made up and originally from a Doctor Who episode that my brother and I made back in 2006, 2005 called Pegasus Point. All the cast decided their own names. This was a tradition from the Pandora Men. Again, my character, Donald Munro, was named after the Doctor's companion in the Doctor Who episode we made, Pegasus Point, set in Tarnahay. From the start, Jim's character was always a shoemaker, as this was the original person who supposedly saw the Yird Swine in the folklore tale. Myla had an absolutely amazing Welsh accent, so her character was actually changed in order to reflect that. Originally, Jane's character was not the villain, and she, like everyone else, was devoured by the Yird at the end. But during a script read-through, the idea was suggested that Jane was actually feeding the creatures. This made perfect sense. So the character was essentially hated the place that she was from, and what better way to get revenge on it than to unleash these bloodthirsty monsters. Josh really wanted to try out an accent also, so he was written as a cocky young city person. The idea originally was that Josh and Neil would be a sort of buddy cop team investigating strange goings on in the village before finally Neil is killed off and the monsters emerge. I wrote it so that my character had a Quint from Jaws style death sequence. And also, I wanted to use the fake blood. It was a terrible experience, as the fake blood tasted absolutely horrible, and it has completely stained the shirt that I was wearing at the time.
Action!
It's always been a dream of mine to make a nightclub massacre sequence. I have very odd dreams, actually. So yeah, basically, Josh here and Mila are the two actors that are going to run in later on and try and warn you about the creatures that are coming into the village at the time. Claire's going to be doing the majority camera, so she's up there. Anyone that wants to die later when the creature comes in, give me a shout. Got fake hands, blood. Yes! Straight up.
Got my fake blood ready.
So I jumped at the opportunity to do the town hall sequence. We roped in as many people as possible, friends, family, people I work with. Originally we actually all danced awkwardly to disco music in the rushes before we obviously put the music on. And then we did a sequence where everyone just literally just screamed at the camera at the top of their voice. It was absolutely horrible watching it, but it was really good fun. But yeah, it was just people screaming. And then the creature's going to attack you. Okay, don't do any blood stuff yet. It basically bite down on his neck here, and then Danny, you go down, Yird off. Then we'll film a close-up of you, blood spurting, and then one final shot, all dead bodies. Okay. One of my friends actually brought along her kids as well, and when the Yird ran out for the first time, they burst into tears. We're so scared of it. But thankfully, the guy playing the Yird, he went in over and introduced himself and put the little boy at ease, and it was actually a really sweet moment. To be honest, I never really had a vision for what the Yird was going to look like. Claire discussed in detail with all the cast and about it, and we all kind of threw ideas into a big pot, and Claire kind of picked what the best was. But definitely the thing we came up with or agreed on was this concept of making it pig-like, burrowing and all this kind of thing. We tried a few random ideas. 18th of January, and Claire's just about to begin designs on the Yird Swine mask. We've got a couple ideas. We've got 3 current masks to do, plus stuffing that we took from outside of a snake toy that Dwight is currently playing with in the background. So we're going to use that as free stuffing. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So trial 1.
Okay, so this is our starting selection. We're going to try out a few things. It looks a bit mad at the moment. We have one terrifying pig mask. We have various types of tape. We just different types of masks to see what works. I quite like this one.
Stage 1 then.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Can you still breathe? Let's see if I can get it. It's sticking more to me because I'm full of static.
The beard's not going to help either.
The beard's not going to help. Right.
But nothing really gelled until Claire masterfully took this pig mask and started to augment it, repainting it, adding moss and dirt to it, and before we bought a ghillie suit to wear as the under half, created the whole outfit, and Plastizote claws were cut out and glued together and spray painted.
Yes! Oh no!
And it was an absolute amazing moment in the first costume check, because we hadn't really shown any of this to the cast and crew, so really it was only me and Claire that knew what it was going to look like. And we got Neil in the full outfit, and then he ran in to the lemon tree in front of the cast, and yeah, I really cherished that moment. It's everyone's first time reaction. It was just phenomenal.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's so lovely.
Oh my god, that is amazing!
You do a little bum shape there, Neil.
Oh, it's brilliant. Well done, Claire. It's fantastic.
This is where a member of staff now in the building.
Hey guys. What's up? Are you giving me? That's very rude. Thank you.
Production officially began in February 2020 and the shoot ran for about 9 days in total, spread between Tyrebagger, Seaton Park, Tillydrone Community Centre and the Lemon Tree. We reshot the opening talking scene between Josh and Neil as we were still finding our feet at that point, and we'd originally shot it in Seaton Park and it just didn't look right, so we took the decision to reshoot it. We also originally shot the big talking scene in the town hall at the Lemon Tree, but again the scene just didn't feel right, so we thought we'll scrap it, and we managed to secure a room at the Tillydrone Community Centre. We finished the film in late February. Once I had done the initial edit, it was sent over to Danny and the sound team, and then COVID-19 hit. The original plan had been to meet up regularly and do screenings at the uni or at the college, do ADR dubbing in a sound booth and all that, but it was all thrown out the window as we entered the global pandemic. Post-production was a rather complicated affair, battering emails, WhatsApp, WeTransfers between myself and the sound team, working remotely. It was a massive learning curve. With a lot of lessons learned from both sides, the film was eventually scheduled to be released on the 1st of January 2021. I'll be honest, I had held off for the physical premiere for a long time. I thought it would have been really good to get everyone together, but I think once we got to that sort of stage we realised this wasn't going to happen, so it was a really good morale booster to get the film out, and so we took the decision to release it on the 1st of January at 9 PM. What's happening here? Okay, the cast and crew did an absolutely amazing job at this, and although the film has its faults, I'm still so proud of what all of us achieved. We did it all in our spare time with little to no professional experience and no budget. I am so proud of the Yird Swine.
Keys for room 6, please.
Are you still mad at me?
Are you serious? You are so out of line.
Rolling. Scene 1, shot 1, take 2.
God, why would somebody do that?
Action.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say. I was just gonna let them play out the scene.
Sorry.
Right. Dun. Jim is then going to stop off that way and you just keep walking at this point. Okay. Jane, I want you to...
Scene 2, shot 1, take 1.
Could explain what's been happening to the coffins, digging up the coffins, got that all wrong. 1, shot 1.
And action.
You know they call the church here the Earth. When I heard save the Earth, I imagined some kind of woolly...
Stay a line, Neil.
My name's Neil. I like long walks in the park and dogs.
Okay. Aye, the ones that disappeared. Damn.
Sorry.
And action.
Come on now. I mean, if you talk about monsters or alien invasions and... Sorry.
Rolling.
I thought we're going to go from your bear, then we'll go from my bear.
Neil, action. You alright? So you're alright?
Yeah, what he's down.
Oh my god.
You alright, Neil?
Did you actually
Sorry,
fall?
sir.
Jim's character at one point actually talks about the monarch, a 16-point stag that wanders into the forest. Originally I thought about making a killer stag film, but considered this too silly at the time. Of course that would then lead into our next production, Stag's Head, which features a massive killer stag.
Puncture marks to the chest, stomach, side of the head. We think this is an animal attack.
No animal in Scotland could have done that.
The doctor had found cervid bones in the wounds.
Antlers? You're not trying to tell me you think that a deer did this? Deer don't eat people.
It didn't eat them.